You're watching the 4-9 show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the 4-9 show. The 4-9 show. The 4-9 show. With your boy, K.O.D.S. Man, what I'm here for real quick is to give you an update on the practices with the San Francisco 49ers. And it's been, I didn't really want to do videos on the very first practice and then I talked about it briefly, but I didn't want to just go all in with the full details on some of the first practices because everybody's pretty much just kind of, just getting everything breaking in real good on the practices. They're just, pretty much, how can you say, dusting out the cobwebs, if any. And, after a few practices and even the first padded practice, I don't really consider that one, much to talk about. But now, they're getting into it after that first break. And then they get back from that first break, in my opinion, then that's when they've had their chances or time to slide certain players in who's been hurt or whatever and just go ahead and just run with it and let it rip. Unless, certain players are still on the PUP list. So as quick as I can, I'll give you updates on the 49ers training camps. Today, they just wrapped up, practice number 4 of training camp. And it was practice number 4, really like day 5, but it was the 4th practice and they wrapped it up today. Kind of start from the beginning. Not really a lot of things went on. A lot of things happened. Day 1. Day 2 was, Trent Taylor still looking good. Garoppolo so-so. It's been a lot of so-so days for Jimmy Garoppolo. And at another time, when I've got a lot of more time, I want to talk with you all about that. I want to discuss it. And I would like for you all to comment on what you think this means. Right now, just to be, blunt about it. And, that's one thing about me. You will all learn the more episodes you watch and listen to with me. I'm very blunt. I'm brutally honest. And I'm going to be that at all times. 100% honest, 100% real about my football team, good, bad, or ugly. And right now, the defense just looks outstanding. And they're whooping the offense's ass. Basically, that's what it is. They are whooping them. I mean, usually it can take offenses a little bit more time to gel, get chemistry, get in the rhythm. Okay, we've got a few rookies out there. We've got a few new acquisitions out there with Jordan Matthews and Jaylen Hurd and Deebo Samuel, Tevin Coleman. Although I don't think Coleman will be an issue with him knowing that offense. But just, I guess I'm kind of making excuses for him. I'm not sure. But this was just a 4th practice. But there's been some so-so days with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has not looked all of that. The best thing that I can give you that I've heard about him is yesterday in practice number 3, he threw a 60 or 70-yard touchdown bomb a 60 or 70-yard touchdown. Yeah, it was a bomb to Richie James. Now, that was good to hear. It was on the first play of practice. Richie James got a big play. The ball sailed in the air for a good 55 yards. So it wasn't a 10-yard pass that he took 60 yards to the house. It was 70 yards and about 55 yards was in the air. So that was good to hear. But other than that, hasn't been that good with Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying that there should be any concerns or anything, but the offense either is not better than the defense or they're just taking some time to catch up with the defense. But the defense is dominated. And I don't know if we should say that the defense is looking good because this is what we expected, or if we should be saying the defense looks good against our offense because our offense just isn't good. And we're going to get out there and we're going to play Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And we're going to play Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. We're going to play all these offenses. That's Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. I don't know, just whoever has a quarterback and whoever has an offense that, they can put up some yards and put up some points. maybe we're not going to be that good against them. It's just our offense sucks, and they're making our defense look better than what it really is. That's what we really don't know. We don't know. We know what it is, but we do expect our defense to be good. And I don't know if to take that as a good or bad thing because I'm not actually watching these practices. Every chance I get, though, I'm looking up drills. If anybody's taking a video of a certain drill or, things like that, but, can't see the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s and things like that. So that's pretty much the thing. Either our defense is real good, and if that's the case, that it's not a knock on our offense, it's just that, hey, this is going to be a great season for the 49ers offense because they're going to get to practice against a top 10 defense, top 5 defensive line in the league. If that's the case, then fine. It just makes us better on Sundays offensively. Or is it just the offense is just bad right now and it's making the defense look better? That we really don't know. So let me get back to it, to the whole purpose of the video. Richie James caught a 70-yard touchdown pass. Richie James has looked pretty good in and out of his cuts. He had a crispy route on yesterday, and I mean, it was fire. It was pretty litty. I'm the one who said that Richie James was not going to make the cut. And we still don't know if he's going to make the cut or not, but I do want to just give you all the details that I can think of if I don't forget. Richie James had one of the crispiest routes of the day yesterday against, I don't know who that corner was, but he wasn't Spoon. It wasn't Sherm. So let's be real about that too. I mean, it just wasn't the starting corners though. And understandably though, because Richie James hasn't been a starter, but is he going to make the team? I don't know, but he has been looking pretty sharp. Maybe they should throw him out there and see how he'll look against Witherspoon, Verrett, Sherman, K.O.D.S in the slot or whatever. Maybe they should try that out. I don't know, but he has looked okay. Now, that's not saying he's going to make the 53. I didn't say he was. I don't think he will, but he is looking good, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. Hey, if he's balling out and he's ready to go this second season, if he's primed and ready to go, he's locked and loaded, then, man, it is what it is. Hey, I'm fine with him making the team. I just wonder, how this is going to go down, and honestly, I'm glad that I am not the one making that decision because it's going to be rough. So, Richie James had made a few highlights. Another receiver that made the highlights, made some news, was Jaylen Hurd. He got into a couple scuffles in practice yesterday. He, was that yesterday or was that on Sunday? I think that might have been Sunday. But yeah, that was practice number 2, I believe. Hurd immediately got into but we found out that it wasn't all Hurd's fault. It's just him being a very good physical blocker, and he's carrying his blocks all the way down the field. And some of these guys aren't really fond of that. And that's when, the scuffle broke out. I think it was it Hurd punching? I'm not sure if it was Hurd doing the punching or not, but at first he got into it with, oh, man. What's the guy's name, man? The cornerback, who's probably not even going to make the team. Dante Johnson. I'm sorry, folks. It was Dante Johnson, because we all brought him back. I sometimes forget that as well. But Dante Johnson, I think, hit him in the midsection or something like that. They got at it. They did get at it. But, it is what it is. What real training camp would it be if there wasn't a fight or two that broke out? I like to see it. I don't have a problem with it. And it seems like Kyle Shanahan doesn't have a problem with it either because he loves the blocking. He loves the physicality that he brings. And as a rookie, that's good. He's going to be out here making some good blocks. If he hadn't got a lot of reps, we haven't got to see him do a lot of things, as far as being in the offense and getting reps. But if he's out there blocking when he's out there, he can be making some big plays for other playmakers. Whoever's got the ball in their hands, they can follow Jaylen Hurd. So that's good to know. Moving on, in other news with the 49ers, what else do we got here? We also, let's just move on a little bit, fast forward to, let's go to the defensive side. I want to say this before I forget because this is another player that I've been hard on. Want to get the players that I've been hard on out the way. A.k.a. Witherspoon. He has looked good. This is a surprise for me as well. But what did I tell you in the last couple of videos? Man, what brings out the best competition in others? Competition. I mean, these guys are playing good and they're competing at a high level and they're bringing their A game because they have competition. I mean, it brings the best out in everybody. And a.k.a. Witherspoon did not have competition last training camp. He was pretty much handed the cornerback number 2 spot because of what he did finishing his rookie year. And he was a letdown though last year. He really, really struggled. Some people say that he came along toward the end of the season. I don't really recall. I don't know. Once it get down to toward the end of the season, I'm just kind of like whatever. I don't really care. Sometimes I will just look at some of it, and if they start pissing me off, I'll go take my daughter to the park or do something. I don't know. I will. One thing about me, I'm a real diehard 49er, but I will just say F it in a minute and shut everything down for the season. I mean, I'm going to be at home watching it for a little while, but I won't waste my entire 3 hours watching if I know that, hey, this is the product that they're putting on the field. It's terrible. This is my only day off of the week. I'm not going to, continue to watch this because sometimes it just gets painful to watch. I mean, really, there were some games where they just made my eyes bleed. And, besides the Raider game and the first half of the Denver Bronco game, there's not really a lot to talk about from last season. But I didn't miss a game. But I'm just saying after like week 10 or 11, I might not be in tune the whole 3 hours. And so Spoon has a lot to do with that. And Spoon has really came through, though, this year. I mean, he has really, really, really came on strong. And that's good to hear. He's gotten 2 picks in back-to-back days in practice in the one-on-ones. I mean, he's been actually killing it. And that's good. I don't really have a lot on Verrett because Verrett, I saw him in some drills that Grant Kahn had put on a few days ago, but I didn't get to see much of him, and I hadn't saw anything else or really heard anything else. So I'm not really getting any information on who's starting at the corners. It seems like it's Witherspoon, though, as of right now, and I don't really know what their plans are as far as Verrett. With this battle. I hadn't heard much about one going with the ones and then today he's going with the 2s. I've just been seeing and hearing a lot about Witherspoon getting picks. And that's been mostly one-on-ones, but he's also not had some pass breakups, though, in the 11-on-11 drills. He's been, and what happened with him today, ran into Goodwin on a play, trailing Goodman on a route. He hit his knee, he banged his knee on the ground pretty good, but it doesn't seem like anything is major, anything to worry about. Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh said that basically he just left practice. It was pretty much precautionary. So it wasn't that, hey, he's hurt pretty bad. So he went down today, if that's what you want to call it, and he exited out of practice, but he was having a good practice again, though. A.k.a. Witherspoon. And D. Ford also kind of banged his knee today. It's again said to be nothing serious, just being precautious. He was out there stretching. He was seen stretching his leg out, leg or knee, while the other defensive linemen were doing drills. Bosa and D. Ford they sit out of the drills, the pass rushing drills today for whatever reason. But Bosa has been really, really bonding real good with Joe Staley during these practices. Even when he's not in drills, Staley had a day off, Veterans Day off. He gets that a lot. Not that he doesn't deserve it. Staley was still doing a little work, putting in a little work with Nick Bosa. And, they're basically just getting a feel of each other, what moves to look for, what moves should you not do, hand technique and all those kind of things, how to get inside or go outside. When they've just really been working together and they've been doing it on their own spare time, kind of like when everything is just, okay, they're doing this. Okay, let me pick your brain a little bit more. Bosa's just kind of being a sponge right now with Joe Staley, and I like it. That's pretty good. And Salah has come out today at the end of practice and said that he's going to be a good football player. He was a little hesitant on bragging too much about him after that first practice, I could tell. But he's coming along, and he's just going ahead giving him, I guess, a little bit more credit as each day rolls on. So that's it. Bosa and Ford, they kind of sit out, and they got other people to put, to get in some reps on the pass rushing drills. Bosa's fine, though. D Ford, however, kind of banged his knee a little bit. He'll get it checked out. They don't think it's anything serious. Spoon, same thing with his knee. Banged it on the ground. Out, he was breaking up a pass on Marquise Goodwin. Made a good defensive play. And, but it's nothing serious. And they've got the day off tomorrow. So no practice tomorrow, and they'll get a chance to, get some icy hots or some ice or whatever, and just kind of, try to get right and get well before they bounce back at it on Thursday. And breaking news. No, I'm kidding. It's not breaking news. I just like to say some kind of break or something like that, breaking, when I'm about to mention this guy here who I'm about to bring up. And that is Mr. Glass, a.k.a. Jimmie Ward. He was back today. Now, he's in a non-contact, jerseys or whatever. For non-contact, he's not really ready to go, but he's back. The 49ers activated Jimmie Ward from the PUP list today. That happened this morning. They announced it before the practices began. And he was on the sideline just doing walkthroughs and things like that. But, yeah, Jimmie Ward is back. I'm just going to leave it at that with Jimmie Ward. As you all know, I'm really not a big fan of him. But, yeah, he is back. John Lynch said that he believes that the improved supporting cast will really help Jimmy G. A lot of people seem to think that Verrett and Sherman could be good. And Spoon is hearing that, and I guess that would explain why he is really, really having a good camp so far. So far, so good on that end. There was a highlight that you could probably find on Bleacher Report where this was today's practice as well. Jordan Matthews versus Greg Maben. And as a matter of fact, Greg Maben is the one who was guarding. Matter of fact, I know it now. Greg Maben was the corner in practice, I think, yesterday, when I told you earlier about the crispy route, the crispiest route of the day, that was by Richie James. That was Greg Maben. So a lot of people have been putting a lot on that. I've been noticing on Twitter. But hey, Richie James, it was a good move, good head fake and everything. He got him. But it's Greg Maben, so I'll just leave it at that. And speaking of Greg Maben, he got beat down the sideline today against wide receiver Jordan Matthews. And he had a step on him. He had a pretty good step on him. I like Jordan Matthews, as of course you all know, I believe. And I think Nick Mullins threw that pass too. Yeah, I think that's Nick Mullins. But Jordan Matthews beat his defender pretty good. He's been looking good. Shanahan has said that he loves that Jordan Matthews is there because he's been a good presence on the locker room for his wide receivers. And I agree. And that's one of the reasons why I think he's going to make the cut. He could just be there for now, and then when it's time to cut down to 53, they may hope that everybody has gotten whatever they can get from him. But I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think he'll be there the whole season. I think that he needs to be there, for the whole season. And so these guys can just kind of watch and learn, get on that iPad, look at the playbook in the film room, and go from there. And Nick Mullins, he's haven't really got to talk to you all about the quarterback two position battle. But hey, I don't know. Comment and let me know what you all think. But I think it's kind of a no-brainer. Beathard, he throws a pretty deep ball, but that's about it. I don't think the clock in his head moves as fast. I don't think that I think a lot of hits that he takes is on himself. I think he puts it on himself. I just don't think that he can do anything better than Mullen except for a deep ball. But we don't really get to see that deep ball a lot. So, whether it's people being out, injured, or just the running game wasn't that good, so we couldn't get it, or the coverage just didn't allow us to do it, I don't know. But Beathard does throw a pretty damn good deep ball to Marquise Goodwin. I'll give him that for the most part. Sometimes, I'll say 8 times out of 10, he'll get it there. But I like Mullins better. He just seems to be more smarter. The ball comes out faster. The clock in the head's faster. I like his ability to roll out the pocket if he has to and try to make something happen or throw the ball away, and he doesn't turn it over as much or get sacked as much as C.J. Beathard. So, but Mullins has been having a decent camp. They're not really saying a lot, but I've seen a few deep balls that he's threw to some of these second string and third string receivers. But there was actually a highlight of him throwing a pretty good deep ball. I think I saw that earlier today, if I'm not mistaken. But moving on, man, I'm already getting deep in this video already with time. But again, though, man, look, Richard James been okay. A.k.a. Witherspoon has been pretty good. Richard Sherman is looking good. Oh, man, I forgot to talk about him. He's getting in and out of his breaks real good. I seen a video Grant Kahn put on, I think on Sunday or Monday. It was good. I liked how quick he was just going through the cones in between it. I mean, the drills were good. I like the drills that I see the new secondary coach putting in for us. I think he's going to be good. Sherman feels good. He doesn't feel any pain anymore. This is great. He is getting back to, and he's 31, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if we're going to see a 31-year-old cornerback out there on the field. He's just got that bounce back, more spring in his step. I mean, I've been hearing good things about Richard Sherman, and people are saying that he is officially back, and he's locked and loaded. He's ready for week 1. That's what I've been hearing. Chris Kasurik, I love that guy. Our defensive line coach, first season with us, he's fiery, he's hot. He'll get on you, he'll get in you, but that's good. We need that. Chris Kasurik is a good guy. I like him. I think he's going to really fire those guys up. He's really got them ready. He's making them work hard for it. He's getting the best out of them, I believe, and that's what we need. I've heard good things about Chris Kasurik this week and over the weekend. So I like that. Just wanted to throw that in. I've mentioned his names a few times in several other episodes, and I like what I'm seeing from him. So Sherman is back to form. Witherspoon is trying his best to hold off Jason Verrett. And the defense looks good. Bosa looks good. D Ford, hadn't heard a whole lot about him. And he's a little banged up right now, just nicked up. Nothing serious. What I want to hear more about, though, is Solly T, Armstead, AA. Hadn't heard much about them. We know what Buckner can bring to the table. So, but the defense still overall has been dominating. And the secondary looks pretty good, too. So maybe that's the D-line. Maybe that's the pressure that's doing it, like we said it would do. But the defense overall is whooping the offense's ass. Jimmy Garoppolo had not looked that good. And, man, I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, man. The offense stunk. Jimmy Garoppolo today was 5 of 14, I believe. He was 5 of 14. And, but the defense was spectacular. So, I mean, I don't really know how to, how you all want to look at it. It can be, if you want to say it's the glass is half full or the glass is half empty assessment. If you want to go by that, okay, fine. But like I said, man, is the defense really that good? And the offense just that, or is the offense just that bad? That's what we don't know yet. It does take time, though, for these guys to, get it together, get the rapport and all of that. So, the 49ers wrapped up the practice, though, again, with D Ford and Witherspoon, having some minor knee injuries. And it's not serious, though. And that came from defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. They'll be back, and they'll have tomorrow off. Sherman, though, again, Sherman is back. They say he looks good. His movement skills look good and improved compared from last year. His confidence is up, and I could hear that in the video from, I think, Sunday. He sounded pretty good and confident. He broke up deep balls and one-on-ones today, and he's been smothering coverage. These are the things that Eric Crocker said earlier when the practice ended about what he saw, with Richard Sherman, and a few more reporters said the same. So just kind of piggyback off of what he said, man, that's good. Richard Sherman, again, broke up deep balls in one-on-ones and smothering coverage. That's good. He lifted Tevin Coleman off his feet. That's another thing that he said, and he's laughing pretty hard at it with the emoji. So, hey, man, Sherman is back. Bosa's going to be a good player, and Sherman is back again. Spoon trying to keep Verrett off of his back from getting his starting position. And that's pretty much it, man. What do you guys think of the offense, though, man? I'm going to wrap it up here, but what do you think of the offense? What needs to happen for it to get better? What does Shanahan think? I can't wait to see some kind of press conference, a video, of him at the podium talking to the media, because I really would like to know what he thinks about the 49er offense. 5 of 14 is just not, good enough. That deep ball yesterday to Richie James is really the highlight of the training camp so far. So what they need to do is just take a break, take tomorrow off, come back Thursday fresh, be ready, locked and loaded, and hopefully that everybody can, bounce back. I've heard several training camps on these training camps that are these teams in training camps. I'm sorry. I've heard of plenty of players say that we've got whooped yesterday by the defense, but we're going to get them back today. Mike Evans in particular said that about the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers defense, I just don't see anything good about them at all. And they even got the best of the offense, and that's Mike Evans. They got a good tight end over there as well. I can't think of his name right now. And Jameis Winston. So sometimes it just takes the offense time, to get back in the groove of things and to get a good chemistry. Garoppolo's trying to get there right now with all those guys. Well, with half of the guys as far as the receivers go. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm going to leave it at that. And one more thing. Quan Alexander, they're easing him back into things. But Quan Alexander said, I think on Sunday that, he's ready. He's ready to go. And they asked him how did he feel coming back from the ACL injury. And he said he felt legendary. So that's the word that he's going to be using now, legendary. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Haven't really got a confirmation on if Quan Alexander is going to be playing the weak side linebacker position or the middle, but we've heard that he'll be playing at the wheel. But we don't know for sure. We'll see. Fred Warner, I think, is going to be the mic though, and Quan is going to be playing the wheel. I think that makes things better as well. From what we saw in highlights and stuff like that with Quan Alexander with Tampa Bay, he was doing all that though at the mic. If we put him at the weak side linebacker position, I think we will be better with Fred Warner playing in the middle. So I'm ready, man. I'm hyped up, man. I just want to see. I wish I could just see these 11 on 11s, and I wish I could get a better feel on what the offense is doing, because it's not been that good. So I think that's all I got. I talked about Quan just then. Yeah, he said he's legendary, and man, I still think it was something else that I wanted to share with you all, but I think it's already slipping my mind. Oh, Tavarius Moore got some reps today with the first team at free safety. Forgot to mention that. There was something else too, man. We moved DJ Reed back to corner, which is what he was in college. Last year he was listed as a free safety though and played some nickel corner. Well, DJ Reed is back, and he wanted to go back. He feels comfortable at it. Shanahan said, so that's what we're doing. Now, I don't know if it's outside or inside or whatever, but he is back to the cornerback position. You see, it just makes sense, man. Look, these players are who they are at their position. You don't move all these players around after you draft them. What are you looking at when you draft them? You're looking at them playing one position. So why do you bring them into the NFL and think that they need to play this or that? So I'm glad that they're finally, somebody is opening their eyes up saying, put these guys in their right position, in their rightful position where they should be. Now, a lot of depth charts has been showing Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner playing inside in the middle, Bosa and Ford on the edge, and there's not been Solly T's name at all. Solly T, is he just going to be a DT in nickel situations, inside with Buckner or whatever? And then are they saying he can't even stop the run inside, or he's underweight to be inside just a little bit as far as DT? I don't know, man. A lot of questions. I watched some drills with Solly T yesterday, him and Bosa going at it with Chris Kasurik, and he looked okay. He looked okay. I just wonder how they're going to do it, man. It's good to have a lot of depth, but, I just wonder what the plan is going to be because I'm not seeing Solomon Thomas' name on any depth charts until you go deep into it. As far as the starters, I don't see it. Oh, and this is my last thing. I just remembered. Dre Greenlaw. He's been showing flashes of stopping power in his debut with the team. He's been doing good. I hadn't heard anything about Malcolm Smith. I don't know if Malcolm Smith is nicked up or something or what, or they're just giving him rips. But I don't think Quan has anything to do with it like they say, because Dre Greenlaw is not going to be playing the weak side. He's going to be playing the Sam linebacker position as far as I know. And that's Malcolm Smith's role. I think they're thinking about dipping him in, and Malcolm Smith may be out the door. I'm going to do my 53-man projection, my 53-man roster, what I project it to be. I got time in a few weeks before it, gets to narrowing down. But no, not in a few weeks. I'm going to do it sooner than that. I have to. Or else I'll just be telling you what's happening instead of what I think is going to happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it, though. Dre Greenlaw has been surprising people. He's been getting reps with the first team. Keep that in mind. That's the rookie out of Arkansas, and we drafted him in like the 4th, 5th round. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Dre Greenlaw's doing all right. Kittle was still Kittle. Sherman is back. Spoon is keeping Verrett off his ass. Richie James, he's surprising me. I thought that, hey, he's just a special team guy. We've got so much talent or potential talent. We're not going to be able to keep all of them. Hadn't heard anything about Kendrick Bourne. He don't make my roster. He makes my roster cut. He doesn't make the 53, in my opinion, even though he led the team in catches and yards. But to me, that's just not saying much. It was nobody on the field. Somebody had to have more yards. And Trent Taylor doing what I said he was going to do. He's been lights out. Didn't really hear a lot about him today, but Sunday, Monday, I did. He's cutting up. A lot of that's got to do with him being back to form post back surgery. Then another part of it is Wes Welker is there, and he has been reminded of. He's been called the little baby Wes Welker from the college days. So all that's just going to be a plus. I can't wait to see who's going to win this wide receiver battle. It's going to be interesting. It really is. But until the next time, you've been watching the 4-9 show with K.O.D.S. K.O.D.S. I'll be back. And when I come back, I'll show you the 49ers on Madden. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to get that to you tomorrow. All right. It's been good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the 4-9 show. I will be back. Again, it's your boy, K.O.D.S. Red and gold. Till I'm dead and cold.
Thanks for watching the 4-9 show. Like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell.